For Grace Mullen, who had 20 grabs with the BC Lions. First down, Roughriders, 5 receivers set. They hand it off. Wes Cates, big hole. Cates dragged down by Lawrence Gordon at the 25-yard line. Big first for a guy who has had trouble getting his running game going for quite a while now. 28 yards.
Boy, when you have a running quarterback, it can really influence the linebacking core. Watch Rod Davis, the linebacker here, vacate when he sees Darian Durant go in that direction, and Wes Cates will hit it right where he vacates. He goes right after Darian Durant immediately, and then he leaves that middle wide open for Wes Cates to take advantage.
Under 50 yards in each of his last 3 games. Does not have a 100-yard game in 12 weeks. But starts with a 28-yarder and gets it again. Another huge hole. Wes Cates into the Eskimos secondary. Dropped at the 2.
Two things the Saskatchewan Roughriders really needed to do to improve at this very important point of the season, and that's to improve their running game on offense and improve their run defense. Maybe you could add special teams in there as well, but they are certainly on their way to fixing the offensive running game.
Under 50 in 5 of his last 6 games, but he's at 50 already. That was a 22-yard romp, and now they go 2 back. Chris Zarka returning to the Rough Rider offense, and Zarka with the football. Touchdown! A 4-play touchdown drive for Saskatchewan on their opening possession.
Well, just call it the Wes Cates resurrection drive, because you're right, his numbers have dropped off drastically in the last 3 games. Zarka finishes it off, but it's the Wes Cates drive from start to finish. 2 big runs for Wes Cates.
First touchdown of the year for the Canuck truck. And Eddie Johnson to handle all the place-kicking duties with the injury to Luka Kanji last week. Rough Riders have a first possession touchdown for the 2nd straight week. What's happened in the first 4 minutes? Wow.
Yeah. Turnover off the opening kickoff. Edmonton Eskimos can't capitalize. End up with a single. And in about 3-4 plays, the Saskatchewan Roughriders are in the end zone.
You see Jason Armstead back in the CFL and back to accept the kickoff. But Eddie Johnson, again, the newcomer to the place-kicking duties, boots this one out, and the Eskimos will start at their 45-yard line.
Illegal kickoff. Saskatchewan, number 11. First down on the 45-yard line.
Kim Murphy is the referee. The Rough Riders scoring a 4-play, 75-yard drive. Let's set the Eskimo offense for you.
Yeah, Jared Zabransky, last-second starting quarterback. Daniel Porter, we talked about his breakout game, over 170 yards against the BC Lions. There is the #1 receiver in this core in yak yards, second down conversions, and big plays in Fred Stamps. And Aaron Fiacconi is the center of that offensive line.
And our starting lineups are brought to you by Rona, proud sponsor of the CFL. Rona doing it right. Well, it could have been quite a start for Jared Zabransky had Kelly Campbell got a foot down in the end zone. Instead, they're down by 6, and Daniel Porter, the fake, Zabransky rolls, and Calvin McCarty will play fullback today. They have both McCarty and Porter in the backfield. It's McCarty with a catch and a first down.
And take a look at that Saskatchewan Rough Rider defense that all the talk all week was about stopping the run. We'll see if Shamari Williams, the first pick overall in the draft this year, can help with that regard. There's Barron Simpson in the middle. He leads the CFL in tackles. We'll have to make a bunch again here this evening. And Tad Cornegay, one more game at halfback for McKenzie.
10 for McCarty, a first down, and now Zabransky the draw play. And there goes Porter. And Porter runs through the first contact. And they rule him down at around the 46-yard line of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And that looks like close to 9.
21 carries, 171 yards. Did not get into the end zone against the Lions. did have an 8.1 yard average. Barron Simpson says he touched his knee down right there.
Boy, he's elusive. And you saw in that play why apparently his college nickname was Pinball. Unfortunately, that's taken up here. Second and short, and a fumble. Porter picks it up, but he's going to lose yards. Back to the 50. And it's going to be 3rd down and 6. And a little of the inexperience in that Eskimo backfield showing on that play.
Yeah, well, Jared Zabransky would have taken a lot more reps this week in practice because Ricky Ray didn't practice at all during the work week because he's so banged up. However, he hasn't taken those reps live in game action. He's only had a little playing time in 2 games against Calgary and 1 against Saskatchewan, where he did play a little bit in a Saskatchewan game, but that's about it. So we could see some issues here in just the ball handling from Jared Zabransky.
So Derek Schiavone will try and pin the Roughriders. Mullen lets it bounce and fields it just beyond the 10. Well covered as he's brought down at the 16-yard line. A 40-yard punt by Schiavone.
Ooh, did you?
Will start at their own 16-yard line. Their first possession of 4 plays, 75-yard touchdown drive. And Wes Keats running downhill on that opening possession. Elliot Richardson on the safety blitz. And the out is incomplete in the direction of Chris Getzlaff at over 200 yards in receiving last week.
Saskatchewan will want to get that running game going like they did in that first drive because of the losses in the receiving corps. Weston Dressler is out. Kerry Cope will play for him. Ryan Grice-Mullen replaces Rob Bagg at wide receiver. So 2 mainstays, 2 stars in the receiving corps are gone. Jeremy O'Day is playing his 200th game for the Saskatchewan Roughriders.
2nd and 10. Remember, Fantu shut out last week against Calgary. Their usual 2nd down target. They look for him, and it's overthrown, and Lawrence Gordon was in his back pocket. So a 2-and-out provided by that Eskimo defense.
Well, they should get decent field position out of this exchange as well when Darian Durant goes 2 incompletions in a row. Looked like he did have time to throw the football. Leads the league in yardage, completing just over 60% of his passes so far this year. But 0 for 2 on that drive.
So Eddie Johnson to kick. Jason Armstead with his 16th, a former Saskatchewan Roughrider, is back, and he'll field it at the 52. Crosses midfield, finds a crease. Look out! He's gone! Jason Armstead! Welcome back! Touchdown, Edmonton! '58-yard punt return touchdown!
And the last team that Jason Armstead played for was the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Released when they got Dominic Dorsey called up. Played a little in the UFL in the United States. Got a call from the Edmonton Eskimos. The very first time he touches a football, he finds the end zone.
His last game was at McMahon, late November last year, the 2009 Grey Cup. He's back, and the Eskimos have the lead.
Big return by Jason Armstead, and the special teams continue to be a concern for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and this one is in their coverage lanes. When you got coverage lanes, everybody's got to take one. The Saskatchewan Roughriders have 2 guys, 1, 2, in the same lane. They have not spread out their coverage on the kick, and Armstead takes advantage of that. He hits that crease, and he is gone. He hasn't lost any speed from a year ago.
Second kick return touchdown for Edmonton this year. Rider Nation well aware they don't have one, and they have had 2 botched special team plays in the opening 7.5 minutes. Feels like it's going to be another wild day, just like last night. Here's Grace Mullen. Slowed up, but still going, and hits a stone wall at the 40.
Boy, the special teams have been a real issue for the Riders. And you're right. Grace Mullen fumbled the opening kickoff. There's the special teams coach, Jim Daly's been under the gun for about 3 or 4 weeks now. And that heat will just get turned up even more when he takes a look at the replay of this one. And he sees 4 green jerseys basically in the same lane. You've got to spread the field out, stay in your lane no matter what, and then force the ball carrier to go to the sideline.
Roughriders have the fewest 2-and-outs on the year, but coming off one on their last series. So they go back to Cates. That was working, and Cates up to the 45-yard line, dragged down by Mark Rostelli.
Well, the best of the front 4 for the Edmonton Eskimos in the last 3 weeks has been Greg Peach. 6 tackles last week versus the BC Lions for Greg Peach off the edge. Mo Lloyd and TJ Hill have been banged up. Both were questionable. Both will play, and they do get Mark Rostelli back as well. And Lawrence Gordon, a couple of games back at halfback in the secondary.
2nd and 5, Saskatchewan. 6 receivers out. Short drop, quick hitter, and intended for Grace Mullen. The flag does fly as there was contact before the ball arrived.
Yeah, I was going to say it looked like Weldon Brown did get there just a little bit early on Grace Mullen. Now, he didn't grab him, he didn't twist him, but he did make contact, and I do believe it caused Grace Mullen to redirect or at least get forced down. And if you hit the receiver, even if you're not grabbing at him or pulling his jersey, if you make contact hard and it pushes him down, you see Grace Mullen going down.
Edmonton, 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Now, the fans here don't like it. I think the correct call was made there.
So it will be a first down for the Roughriders at midfield.
Weldon Brown doesn't like it, I know that. He was close, but he did make contact, and Grace Mullen on his way to the ground just as the ball was arriving.
Coke and Claremont, the wideouts. Sarka, Cates in motion. And again, 6 receivers out. And there's Coke. And he brought down short gain. About 3 yards on the play.
Harry Cope's going to get a chance to be utilized. He's going to be Weston Dressler in this game. And he's the guy that a lot of the offensive passing game and packages are set up to try and get the football to number 7. Well, in this one this evening, it's going to be 84. Great opportunity for Kerry Cope.
Excuse me, Glenn, third start for him. He comes in with 2 catches. The guy he's replacing had 75 and 1,110 yards. 2nd and long, and the ball off the fingertips of Jason Claremont.
Well, that play designed for Claremont, you can tell, because there was a rub created so that Claremont could cut underneath, and when the ball arrives, he's about at first down, at the first down marker. He just can't squeeze it. It's a little bit out in front of him, but that's a catch that Jason Claremont makes 9 out of 10 times. He has just 18 on the season, but again, with the injuries they've had, they'll look to him more.
So Armstead gets another chance. Waiting at the Edmonton 12-yard line. That's where he's got it. And this time, the cover team downfield in a hurry as we check in with Jermaine Franklin on the sidelines.
Thanks, Chris. Well, the Rider defense has struggled against the run throughout the season, especially in the last 4 games where they've given up a minimum of 167 yards. Baron Simpson, as a middle linebacker, has taken it personally. He says it's all about attitude when it comes to stopping the run. His defense has to stand up and be ready to punch them in the mouth if that's what they want to do. Obviously, he didn't mean that literally, but what he did mean is they need the right mindset to stop the run. And also, Baron Simpson said the defense has to trust each other, individually focus on their jobs and not worry what the next man is doing.
Oh, he might have meant that literally, Jermaine. Here comes Porter, and a great dash by Porter and a cutback, and, well, they didn't punch him in the mouth there.
Well, this is again when you're talking what Jermaine talked about and Baron Simpson has talked about is every man trying to accomplish his assignment, trying to take care of his job. Now, who has contained on the play? It's LaRon Mitchell from the corner. He's not contained in the run game. I guarantee you that. His first job is pass defense. So he came up as a secondary contained man. Someone on that play on that defense lost contain there.
Porter, the offensive player of the week in the CFL last week with 171, 18, and a lot more here into the secondary. And both teams enjoying a lot of early success on the ground. Back-to-back first down runs for Porter.
Well, some blocking up front. Kyle Cox is going to take care of one gap right here. And let's take a look at where Daniel Porter hits it. If you hold it there, guys, you can see there's a huge B gap wide open. No linebacker able to scrape there. So by design, the defense has put them in a bit of a bind. Baron Simpson way out to the left of the defensive formation.
Porter, 3 carries, 44 yards already. This time a fake, and Zabransky now shovels it inside, and that's an incompletion. Incomplete pass on the shovel attempt from Zabransky.
Yeah, boy, Jermaine hit it right on the head when you think about this run defense for Saskatchewan. Look at the first 11 games. And, you know, you're over 100 yards there. That's as a team against the Rider defense. Not bad. Last 4, bad. 188 yards per game is too many. And when you look at over 200 last week against Calgary, really cost them the game in the final 3 quarters. And there's a season average that ranks 7th. I mean, this is an area that they look vulnerable again here this evening.
Joffrey Reynolds, 124 last week, 221 on the ground for Calgary. Zabransky couldn't find anybody. Now he'll dump it off, and that's a first down catch by Andre Talbot in the Rough Rider territory at the Saskatchewan 45.
You know, Chris, this is what Jared Zabransky is going to have to do here this evening. He's going to have to move around. He's going to have to almost play like sandlot football a little bit. Yes, run the structure of the offense. Yes, run the plays. They can continue to establish the run, which they already have with Daniel Porter. Now when Zabransky gets the ball, he can use his legs, extend the play, move around, kind of sandlot it. Find an open receiver and just keep moving the chains. If he does that, this team could have success.
Well, that's probably right up his alley. The Boise State Star had a package designed earlier this year. They called the Bronco package. And now does some dancing on trouble. Shamari Williams in pursuit. Now throws downfield. Stamp pulls it down. A great catch for Fred Stamps, who tore up Saskatchewan early this year for over 200 yards.
Big play at both ends. Let's take a look at Fred Stamps, because as good a catch, Chris, as it was a better adjustment by Fred Stamps. He was a little shallow as he came all the way across the field to help his scrambling quarterback. And watch the little adjustment he makes right there to get a little more depth and give himself a chance. And then he goes up and pulls it down. Jared Zabransky once again scrambling out of trouble. That play was designed to be a throw from the pocket.
12th play of 30 yards or more for Fred Stamps in this his 12th game. That was a 38-yarder. And their first and goal. Porter. And Porter is pushed back as Ted Cornegay stepped up. Shamari Williams was there.
Really even a passing down now, but lots of room. Obviously, with the deep end zones in Canadian football, you have Daniel Porter, so you have options here.
Surprised to see that Saskatchewan's given up more points than any team in the league in the opening quarter this year. Edmonton with 8 so far, 125 scored against the Rough Riders, and the Eskimos trying to add to it. 2nd and goal at the 4. Take to Porter on a roll. End zones for Stamps. Does he have it? Touchdown. Fred Stamps with his 2nd catch on that scoring drive, engineered by Jared Zabransky.
And you hear that sort of sigh of relief from the home crowd here in Edmonton when they saw number 5 start this important football game. You mentioned it, Chris, off the top, that the Eskimos have to keep pace with the BC Lions team that won last night. And then they saw the youngster in Jared Zabransky get the start. They have to breathe a sigh of relief right now. He's moved around.